Recently, President Trump and Mitch McConnell have been sparring publicly over the failure to repeal Obamacare. But hey, don't worry. If you care about Mitch McConnell, Donald Trump has a way to get him off his shit list. Now, it involves doing a couple of very simple things. One of them, according to Bloomberg, is repealing and replacing Obamacare. Now, they said that Trump's direction for McConnell came after he assailed the Senate Republican leader for 2 days on Twitter over the Senate's failure to replace the Affordable Care Act. When asked by a reporter whether McConnell should step down, Trump said Thursday that he would withhold judgment. Quote, if he doesn't get repeal and replace done, along with taxes and infrastructure, then you can ask me that question. Oh, look at that. Seems to be getting quite serious. Now, furthermore, earlier today, he actually again went on the attack. He said, can you believe that Mitch McConnell, who has screamed repeal and replace for 7 years, couldn't get it done? Must repeal and replace Obamacare. He also retweeted a Fox News story depicting his comments as a warning shot. To the Republican leader, in another post, Trump highlighted a second Fox story, saying that Republican senators were learning the hard way about the fallout from turning on Trump. So that's very, very interesting. And look, hey, he makes a good point. McConnell did scream about it for 7 years, but so did every Republican. They knew they couldn't get it done in the first place. But again, they lied to their constituents about, oh, we can do this. Yeah, we're going to repeal and replace Obamacare. Just vote for us. They used it as a political tactic. They didn't actually think that they were going to win on it. And then when they won on it, they're like, oh shit, what do we do? We were promised to repeal and replace Obamacare. We don't have an actual plan. Idiots. Anyway, now, do you know why this repeal and replace was so unsuccessful? Well, it's because the bill was super, super unpopular. In fact, an ABC News Washington Post poll from May found that 61% of respondents wanted Obamacare fixed instead of repealed and replaced. 79% said President Trump should make Obamacare work instead of letting it fail. And the repeal and replace fan, by the way, the one that they rolled out, polled at 17% favorability. That is a disaster. That is sad. But no. Donald Trump says, no, Mitch McConnell, you're going to have to do something really, really unpopular if you want to make me happy again. Okay, if you want to make me not call for your resignation. Okay, man. If you want to make sure that the Democrats regain the Senate by passing this abortion of a bill, well, by all means. But it's not going to happen, of course. And that's good, because I don't want millions of people to lose their health insurance to score political points. But Donald Trump does. Why? Because that's who he is. That's all he wants is a win. Now, more from Trump. He said, I'm very disappointed in Mitch. Repeal and replace of Obamacare should have taken place, and it should have been on my desk virtually the first week I was here. Again, dumbass, that wasn't going to happen. Why? Because, again, 17%. There were moderate Republicans out there that were like, this bill's a disaster. You want me to vote for this shit? I'm going to get killed at the polls. I've got an election coming up, and I don't know if you know this, but I kind of actually want to win. And look, the reason that these moderate Republicans were against this is because of the massive pushback from their constituents that wanted to keep the bill. So, and now, of course, that repeal and replace ship, it's over. They're tired. They want to get moving on. And look, Congress wants to do other things. In fact, Bloomberg writes, the clock is ticking to rapidly to the end of the legislative work for 2017. Already? It's fucking August. Are you going to go on vacation? Man, fuck these guys in Congress. Always getting a goddamn vacation. And they said, and other needs like raising the U.S. debt limit are competing for scarce time. If anything, Trump may be charting a course for a worsening relationship with the Kentucky lawmaker who has led the GOP in the Senate for nearly a decade. Yes, nearly a decade. Jesus Christ. McConnell has sought to serve as a close ally to political newcomer Trump since Inauguration Day, forging a closer relationship with the president than of House Speaker Paul Ryan, who was more critical of Trump during the campaign. McConnell even successfully urged Trump to pick his wife, Elaine Chao, to serve as transportation secretary. Any goodwill, however, they write, seems to have evaporated. McConnell has begun his week's discord on Monday in Kentucky by saying the president had, quote, excessive expectations that the Senate could pass a stripped-down version of the GOP Obamacare repeal last month. One reason some believe Congress hasn't done much yet, McConnell said, is because, in part, quote, the president and others have set these early timelines about things that need to be done by a certain point. Our new president, of course, has not been in this line of work before, and I think he has had excessive expectations about how quickly things happen in the democratic process, said Senator McConnell. In response, of course, Trump took to Twitter and told him, ironically, because again, the president is on a 17-day working vacation in Bedminster, New Jersey, telling McConnell, you need to get back to work. Quote, Mitch, get back to work and put repeal and replace tax reform and cuts and great infrastructure bill on my desk for signing. You could do it. No, he can't do it. Let me explain. See, this guy doesn't understand anything about government. He doesn't understand that Congress, by nature, is a deliberative body. It takes time to get things done, and it was created that way on purpose. Now, Trump, the idiot, the man-child, thinks he's still a CEO that can make things happen like that. Okay? That's not how politics works. That's not how any of this works. He doesn't understand. And if he thinks that picking on McConnell, which personally I actually find incredibly amusing and satisfying, is going to change that, it's not. And it just shows how much of an idiot Trump is. Now, here's something that actually does worry me. And it's their push for tax reform. Now, everybody who knows tax reform knows that it's basically another way of saying tax cuts for the rich. Now, I actually believe that as opposed to healthcare, it has a much better chance of passing and attracting bipartisan support. Now, that means that Democrats could help push a bill that cuts taxes for the rich and for corporations over the finish line. Now, McConnell has said weeks ago that an overhaul is the top priority for September, which would allow both chambers to complete work in mid-December when lawmakers leave Washington. The Senate Finance Committee will consider a tax bill as early as next month, an effort that will allow more input from Democrats than the Obamacare effort, where McConnell sought to approve a bill with only 51 Republican votes. Now, they also seek to use a filibuster mechanism that could allow a tax bill to pass with just 51 votes. Oh boy. Now, the Democrats, 45 of them said, no, we're not going to work on tax reform if it cut taxes for the wealthy. I would love to believe them, but I'm a huge skeptic because, again, a lot of Democrats work for the same donors that Republicans do. And on some economic issues, well, Democrats are more than happy to pass tax cuts for the rich. Now, as I said, 45 of them signed a pledge saying, no, we're not going to do that. Well, that leaves 3. Now, one of them happens to be a senator from West Virginia named Joe Manchin. Oh, boy. God help us if he decides to help Trump with tax reform. He hasn't exactly been shy with assisting Trump on other initiatives. Now, not only that, but there was also a recent article where Blue Dog Democrats had explained how they were more than willing to sign up to help Donald Trump pass tax reform. So here we go. More bad news. And unlike the ACA, the Republicans, they're not going to revolt if this tax bill helps corporations. Again, one of the reasons that there was so much uproar because you were actually taking healthcare away from the constituents. It turns out when you give people health insurance or access to more affordable health insurance, they kind of like it and they really don't want you to take it away. So, but on tax reform, well, nobody likes taxes. I don't like taxes, but I also believe that they're necessary to fund things, for fund things that we like. But again, a lot of people, they're like, taxes, we don't really care too much about tax cuts, especially since they're going to try and tout this tax reform bill as helping the middle class and small businesses. Well, who doesn't like small businesses, right? Who doesn't like cutting taxes in the middle class? That's what they're going to sell it as. So you're not going to see that kind of pushback that we had with the ACA, which was actually taking away a benefit that people are actually benefiting from. And a lot of people need to survive. So that's why I have very little hopes that they're going to actually stop this tax cut for the rich, which is what this bill is. Because, look, nothing motivates people like losing their health care. But cutting corporate taxes, that's going to be seen as helping the middle class and small businesses. I could be wrong, and I'd actually love to see giant marches against cutting corporate taxes, but I don't think it's going to happen. Now, on McConnell versus Trump, look, make no mistake, McConnell wants what Trump wants. They want to get rid of the ACA. They just failed to do so. They also want to cut corporate taxes, and just like Trump, he wants to turn the infrastructure plan into a giant money-making scheme. That is the Trump plan. Basically, what they want to do in their infrastructure plan is to pay private companies to fix roads and bridges and then make them build toll roads on it so that they can continue to collect money from us in perpetuity for using those roads. That is double taxation. Number one, you're getting taxed to fix those roads. That's your money that's going to go to these private corporations, and they're going to build a toll booth on top of it, and then charge you again for using the road that you already paid for. It's bullshit. But it's not doing the policy that seems to be a problem for Trump. The problem is, Trump is just so goddamn impatient that he ends up alienating his own allies, his own people that can actually get these things done. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.